If you're running a business, especially in the early stages, you've likely hit a wall. Like, you're doing way too much. You're in the entrepreneurial grind, you're wearing multiple hats, and eventually it's too much for you as the solo entrepreneur to handle. Eventually you start asking the question, should I hire some help? And could I potentially hire that help as a virtual assistant? And if I hire a VA, do I do it direct or do I go through an agency? Well, there's pluses and minuses to both. I've done both. And today I want to break down what actually works, what doesn't, and how to think through the decision like a strategic entrepreneur. Hiring direct means you hire the VA yourself. You create a job posting, you post it to sites like Fiverr or Upwork or Indeed or others. You conduct the interviews. You do these typically over Zoom or some other type of video service. You create your interview questions, you go through everything, you do the full-on interviews, you do the hiring, you do the onboarding, you do the training, and then you get your employees up to speed working in your business. In addition to that, you're paying the employee directly via some type of payment system. Hiring through an agency is you're hiring someone that's generally already done the screening, the hiring of the people, and they've usually put them through some type of basic business training, many times specific to your industry. If you're in the insurance industry, they've got some basic insurance training. Lots in the real estate industry with basic real estate training so that they kind of come in knowing a little bit what to do. So going through an agency, they've done a lot of the early grunt work for you. You still get the chance to interview and actually hire the VA that feels right for you, but their general screening has already been done from a much larger pool of applicants, and you're just interviewing a smaller pool that's somehow been deemed to be a potential fit for you and your business. Once hired, the VA company assigns someone to your team, or it could be a team of people to you to handle your tasks and your roles and the things you need to do. And they'll also put a layer of management in between or with you and them, and then manage the person and your payroll process as well. All they're generally going to do is just bill your credit card for the hours it's worked each week, and that's more or less hands off for you for the rest of it. So what's the right call? So the pros and cons of the direct hire VA. Well, the pros, first and foremost, it's more cost effective. You might pay somewhere between as little as $5 to as much as maybe $10, $11 an hour to hire a very high quality individual to work on your team. Next, you're in control. You pick the person, you control the pace, the whole hiring process, it's all up to you. So there is an element of control that can be nice. Next, if you build it right, they become an extension of your core team. And this is a person that could be with you through the thick and thin of it, and frankly through multiple business opportunities. So hiring direct gives you the opportunity to really have someone to grow with you and extend throughout your entire business lifetime. Now, the cons of hiring direct. First, it takes time. From preparing the job posting to getting it out there to doing the interviewing, sorting through what can be dozens to hundreds of candidates applying for your position. That takes real work. And so you've got to be willing to commit the time. And second is the training and the onboarding process. Now, this isn't totally eliminated by the fact of going through an agency, because you do need to train for your process, but there's a lot of basic training, basic onboarding, HR processes that you've got to get in place with a direct hire that you wouldn't have to go through some of those HR processes with a VA hire, with an agency hire rather. But maybe one of the biggest cons is if they leave, you're starting over from ground zero. So you've got to go back to that pool of candidates and either re-interview or re-engage with everyone. Whereas the benefit of an agency hire, if someone's not a great fit, then you can literally just let the agency know this person's not a great fit. I need some new candidates. And literally the next day, you've got a bucket of new candidates already pre-screened, potentially good fit for your company, that you don't have to jump through all those hoops and do that work. When I've hired direct, the upside has been big, but it takes a commitment on my part. It'll take a commitment on your part. You got to be willing to invest up front, especially if this person is going to play a long-term role in your business. So the pros and cons of VA agencies. I'd say first and foremost is speed. Like, you can literally assign a task today and they'll be working on it tomorrow. It's pretty quick. Now, as I talk about this, let's talk about a couple of different things in the agency. So companies like Upwork or Fiverr, that's a company where there's more or less contract workers that have specific skill sets. So if you needed a graphic design project done, well, great, you can go find a graphic designer on one of those companies and knock that out really quick. I've also done pretty highly skilled financial analysts that are really familiar with Excel. I've had custom Excel spreadsheets built to model certain things I'm working on, and that's been a great immediate benefit that I could have someone working on tomorrow that's got a deep skill set. But really what we're talking about today is, like, if you're hiring someone more or less on a full-time basis on your team and still going through an agency, it's still faster than going direct, because you could go to the VA agency today with your needs and on a phone call or a Zoom call, actually, frankly, outline all of your needs with someone without having to go through the time of creating a formal job posting. And the agency could have candidates for you, honestly, in the next day or two lined up for you to interview. Next, related to that, is it really streamlines the process. So instead of sifting through 50, 100, 200 candidates, you've got 5 candidates that the agency has screened that are tailored to the type of work that you and your business do that they feel like will be a good fit. So it certainly streamlines the process a bit. Another benefit is they often have standard operating procedures and systems already in place, or they've taught the VAs how to build systems and SOPs for your business. What I've noticed, many entrepreneurs, that is not a strength of theirs, is building systems and SOPs. Their strength is figuring things out, getting things done, but not in documenting and creating SOPs. So if you're hiring through an agency, oftentimes you can have that as part of the skill set that you're already hiring for, is someone can already have a little bit of a skill set of building SOPs and systems to help you document what you're already doing. So some of the cons of hiring through an agency, first and foremost is cost. It's definitely going to be more expensive, often up to double what you might pay from a direct hire. It's still more affordable, in fact, frankly, considerably more affordable than what it might be to hire a US-based person on your team. However, you're still looking at likely upwards of double, maybe sometimes even 3x the cost of a direct hire. Next, there could be less alignment with your long-term company culture and goals. The VA is a contract worker of yours, but also really an employee of the VA agency. So you've got to just pay a little bit of attention to cultural alignment and alignment with your business long-term goals. And then third is, let's say you got a great employee that you hired through this agency and they worked for you for years and you really want to bring them on full-time, or to expand them out, or to get more people from within them and help do things. There could be some challenges within your contractual language with the VA agency that does not allow you to hire direct. Now, sometimes there's clauses in that would allow you to buy them out of the agency contract, but oftentimes that's simply not an available mechanism. So if you got a great person that you wanted to bring on full-time or direct with you and have them play a much larger role in your company, you might be restricted from doing certain things. So in this case, the devil's in the details in reading your contract and understanding what is and what isn't available. So one thing I might suggest, if you're going to use a third-party agency to bring someone in, is that make sure and read those details and have it available so that if you ever wanted to hire a person direct, at least there's a mechanism in place that you could pay some type of fee to where you brought the person on full-time within your company. I've used VA agencies both for direct hires and for project-based work. What I really love is the project-based work. As I mentioned, hiring someone to build some Excel sheets for me, or to do some graphic design, or to work on specific things that I need someone kind of for immediate help with a defined skill set that I can go get. That's where these agencies shine. So what should you do? Well, if you're early in your business and time is your bottleneck, agencies are a great option and helps you to get started without the HR burden. If you're building a team and you want some long-term options to grow with your business, well, hiring direct may be the better way to go. It definitely takes time, it takes the training, it takes a commitment on your and your team's behalf, but in the long term, it can be worth it. Personally, I use both. Agencies for more task-based needs and direct hires for long-term team-building, relationship-driven projects. You can't scale your business when you as the entrepreneur are doing $10 an hour work, whether you hire direct or go through an agency. The real win is freeing up your time. This is when you start leveraging your ability to do the thing that matters most to drive growth in your business. Drop a comment and let me know what's worked for you with your hiring of VAs, whether it's been direct, agency hires, or something else. I'm always looking to grow in my knowledge and continue to get better and better with what we do in business. And if you're growing a business or a franchise, hit that subscribe button. I'm sharing real stories, real lessons, and what's working from down in the trenches. Thanks so much. See you soon.